The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world.
Hello and welcome to Elaborate Media. In this video, we will discuss one of the hottest topics in the financial world right now: the crashing of the US dollar in 2023. The US dollar, which was once the dominant force in the global financial system, is currently witnessing a decline. It has been widely recognized as the leading currency worldwide, accounting for roughly 60% of the total currency value globally. Nevertheless, this trend is beginning to shift, indicating that the US dollar's era of supremacy may soon come to an end. A coalition consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa is presently collaborating to establish an alternative to the existing world reserve currency, which is, of course, the US dollar. This is a large economic change in world history. This economic change is being called the de-dollarization of the global financial system and is arguably one of the most significant financial events taking place in the world today. We must examine how this transformation will impact us. In order to fully comprehend the implications of this change, it is important to first understand the concept of world reserve currencies and their history. It's worth noting that the US dollar has not always been the world reserve currency, with other currencies such as France and Great Britain holding the reserve status before the US dollar took over. This happened through the Bretton Woods Agreement, which established the US dollar as the global reserve currency. In simple terms, the US dollar has been the world reserve currency for approximately a century, and according to billionaire investor Ray Dalio's research, this status changes every 94 years. As we have already surpassed this expiration point, it is not surprising that a shift from the US dollar is currently occurring. But what exactly is a world reserve currency, and why is it necessary for the global economy? When a currency attains world reserve status, it typically brings with it three distinct benefits or superpowers. Firstly, it provides stability to the international financial system. Why is stability important, you may ask? Stability is crucial for international trade, and having a common language and currency that everyone agrees on is essential. Unfortunately, countries often distrust each other because they do not know how much the other country is printing its monetary supply. This uncertainty can lead to a lack of trust and can hinder international trade. This is where a world reserve currency comes in handy. By using a world reserve currency, countries can ensure that the assets or commodities they trade are always backed by something stable and valuable, which helps to foster trust and confidence in international trade. The US dollar's second superpower is its unique ability to purchase oil. After World War II, the US emerged as the only superpower and created the Bretton Woods Agreement, which linked all currencies worldwide to the US dollar, leading to its immense power. However, in 1971, the US ran out of money and President Richard Nixon announced that the promise of exchanging $35 for 1 ounce of gold was no longer valid. This move completely detached the US dollar from the gold standard, making it a full fiat currency. This decision marked the end of the Bretton Woods system and the beginning of the current floating exchange rate regime. Despite no longer being backed by gold, the US dollar remained the world's primary reserve currency, mainly due to its stability and the trust it had built up over time. The petrodollar is the third superpower of the US dollar. What is petrodollar and why it built dominance all over the world? In 1945, President Franklin Roosevelt made a secret wartime deal with the King of Saudi Arabia, offering protection in exchange for exclusive rights to extract oil from Saudi Arabia. As a result, countries that wanted to buy oil had to use US dollars, which gave the dollar even more power. When the US ran out of gold in 1971, it could no longer redeem dollars for gold, but the rest of the world couldn't abandon the dollar because of the petrodollar system. This is why every US president since the secret deal has maintained positive relations with Saudi Arabia. Even today, the petrodollar system remains in place, meaning that countries that want to buy oil must still use US dollars, and due to this petrodollar system, the US uses its economic power to advance its foreign policy interests, often at the expense of other nations. Why is the US dollar crashing in 2023? If you look at the price of the dollar, it's going up day by day, but then why are people saying the dollar is crashing? There are a few reasons why the US dollar's dominance is being challenged. Reason number one: Currently, United States is using this power to cut off other countries' access to energy, which has led to rebellion from nations that can produce their own energy. As a result, we are now witnessing a shift in power dynamics as countries form new alliances to challenge the supremacy of the US dollar. Reason number 2, the amount of dollars held by countries around the world is decreasing. United States has recently demonstrated the power it holds over countries by freezing Russia's foreign exchange reserves in response to the Ukraine crisis. This reminder has caused countries to reconsider their reliance on the US dollar. Significant trades that crush dollar. Number 1. Back in 2000, the UN allowed Iraq to sell oil in euros instead of dollars, and by 2007 Iran had completely stopped using dollars for oil sales. Number 2. Russia and China signed a deal in 2014 to bypass the US dollar, and since then, a growing list of countries has followed suit. Number 3. India and Japan have teamed up with Russia and Iran, while China and Saudi Arabia have formed an alliance to challenge the petrodollar with the petro-yuan. Even the BRICS nations, which make up over 31% of the world's GDP, are gaining strength as more countries join. The Federal Reserve's Jerome Powell has acknowledged that it's possible to have more than one global reserve currency. In conclusion, the world has been making efforts to replace the US dollar for quite some time now. However, there's no clear consensus on whether or not it will actually happen. While some experts argue that a shift away from the dollar will take place over a long period of time, others aren't so sure. Only time will tell how the world currency market will shift and change in the coming years. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more content like this. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more valuable insights in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.